You paid $20 for a bag of green thread and you probably bought the wrong plant because there are 8 species sold under one name. Only one of them has the chemical profile you want for focus, but sellers mix them up to save money. You might be brewing a placebo. I will show you the Latin name on the label that proves it is real, and the visual test that spots a fake in 2 seconds. Sip this once and learn why your body feels different. So fast, 1 cup of this tea triggers a biological alarm that most people ignore until it is too late. Your tongue registers a flavour that is suspiciously mild, but your blood flow shifts gears in under 30 minutes. It makes no sense. You are holding a mug brewed with 6 cups of water and a steep time of just 5 to 10 minutes. Yet you feel a physical change happening before the steam even clears. This is not a placebo effect. It is a chemical survival tool that Navajo, Hopi, and Pueblo trackers use to keep moving in deserts where a normal person would collapse in 3 days. They didn't drink it for the taste. They drank it because it works. The reason it hits you so fast is hiding underground. This plant survives droughts that kill everything else because it drives one giant taproot deep into the bedrock, hoarding water and nutrients to survive elevations from 10 meters all the way up to 2,200 meters. That massive elevation swing forces the plant to build up a thick chemical armor just to stay alive. When you drink it, you are absorbing that armor. But the reaction depends entirely on what you ate for lunch. This tea hits your bitter taste buds and your hydration levels at the same exact moment. If you drink this on an empty stomach, it hits like a freight train. If you drink it after a salty meal, it acts as a flush. Most people treat this stuff like it is just another bag of grocery store mint tea, and that is a mistake. You are messing with a wild plant that has real survival tools inside it. And if you think this is just about feeling light, wait until you see what it does to your afternoon crash. This desert tea can fix your daily energy slump without coffee. The clock hits 2 p.m. and your brain shuts down. You know the drill. You grab a coffee, spike your stress hormones, and guarantee yourself 8 hours of fake energy that ruins your sleep. You are borrowing happiness from tomorrow and paying for it with a headache. Green Thread breaks that cycle because it provides a steady, flat line of focus without the jagged high and low that caffeine gives you. Smart users brew it weak, sticking to that 6 to 10 cups of water ratio, so it acts like high-grade hydration fuel. Most of the time when you feel tired, you are actually just thirsty, but your brain is too fried to tell the difference. You are running dry. This plant fixes your tank because it knows how to live in hell. It grows in messed up dirt, heavy clays, sand, and rocky slopes where normal crops die in 30 days. It thrives from the US plains down to northeast Mexico, eating heat waves for breakfast. So stop stacking caffeine on top of caffeine, try swapping your second cup for 1 mug of this tea, and go for a 10-minute walk. Your heart rate goes up naturally, your blood actually moves, and you do not end up staring at the ceiling at midnight praying for sleep. But looking at the dried bundle on your counter makes you laugh because it looks like dead grass from a lawnmower. How can a plant that stands only 12 inches tall fix your brain fog? It looks like green threads. So why does it hit your focus? Hard. Nature loves to lie to you. You look at this stringy mess and think, I just paid money for yard trimmings. Then you drink it, and 20 minutes later, you are locked into a deep work session and you forget to check your phone. The leaves are ridiculously thin, literally like little green threads, and the plant rarely grows past 26 inches, so it looks weak and fragile. Chemistry does not care about how skinny the packaging is. Every single safety review flags the same chemical inside it, luteolin. This is a strong compound that shows up in modern science papers because it triggers massive activity in your cells even when you only use a tiny amount. It is strong chemistry hiding in a roadside weed. But there is a contradiction here. If this chemical is so strong, why do the old recipes say you should only steep it for 5 to 10 minutes? Why not boil it for an hour? Because the goal was a drink you can use every day, not a trip to the hospital. Short brewing pulls out the smell and the good stuff without dragging out the heavy, bitter junk that rots your stomach. Use the smell as a brain trigger. You brew it, you smell it, and you start a 25-minute work block. The heat plus the scent tells your brain it is time to work. But if you get arrogant and think more is better, you're going to learn a painful lesson about your kidneys. Kidney talk sounds simple. So here is the safe way to use it. Kidney support is not a free pass to erase a weekend of bad diet choices. People drink a gallon of this stuff and then wonder why they get dizzy. Green Thread makes you pee more, which means it physically forces your kidneys to process water faster. That feels clean at first, but if you push it too hard, you flush out the salt and minerals your heart needs to beat properly. You can dehydrate yourself while drinking tea if you are stupid about it. The rule to stay safe is simple. You stick to 1 serving a day. You use the 6 cups of water rule. If you want more flavor, you can let it simmer for 5 minutes, but you stop there. Your body learns from patterns, not from one giant dose that shocks your system. And nobody reads the warning label. A major safety sheet states clearly that safety during pregnancy and breastfeeding has not been established for COTA. If you are pregnant or nursing, do not touch this without asking a doctor. It is not worth the risk. Start slow. Drink it for a few days. If you feel cramps, you stop immediately. You drink an extra 2 cups of plain water to balance out the flush. But honestly, the tea isn't the most dangerous thing in this equation. The real threat is the dirt where you picked it. It grows by roads. So here is how to tell if it is clean or not. Finding yellow flowers on the highway isn't a gold mine, it's a trap. You are looking at a toxic waste dump disguised as tea. Green Thread loves messed up dirt, roadsides, construction zones and clay slopes because it hates fighting other plants for space. But plants act like sponges. Roadside plants suck up lead, oil and chemicals from every car that drives past. Research proves that plants within 30 meters of a road soak up a huge amount of heavy metals. You cannot boil lead out of a leaf. You just make a toxic soup. Even the flower nectar gets contaminated, meaning the bees are carrying toxic loads too. So the only way to harvest wild plants without poisoning yourself is to get away from the pavement. You need to be at least 30 meters away. 50 meters is safer. Avoid ditches near old buildings or factories where chemicals settle in the ground. Look for slopes where the water runs off clean, not the bottom of the hill where the trash collects. If the leaves have an oily film on them, walk away. If you want to be 100% sure, you buy seeds from a real grower. But even if you find a clean patch, you can still ruin the entire harvest by picking it on the wrong Tuesday. Pick it 1 day late. And it tastes weird. So here is the best time. If your tea tastes like cardboard dust, the plant is fine. Your timing was trash. Traditional harvesting has a strict window. You pick exactly when the flower buds are just starting to open. That is when the oils are strong. If you wait until the flower is fully blown out, the plant has already dumped its energy into making seeds. Green Thread blooms for a long time, from March to August, and sometimes into October, which tricks you into thinking you can pick it whenever. You have to watch the buds daily. Here is the visual signal. The buds droop downward like they are sleeping, and then they pop upright to reveal golden rays about 2 inches across. The second they go upright, you grab them. If you wait until the seed heads form, you are harvesting straw. It will taste thin and dusty even if you boil it for an hour. Treat this like buying bananas. You have a 2-day window where it is perfect. Miss it and you are wasting your time. But growing it yourself is even harder because the seeds like to play dead. Seeds do nothing unless you chill them first. So do this 14 to 45 days. You throw seeds in the dirt, water them, wait 3 weeks and get nothing but empty dirt. You think the seeds are dead, but they are just sleeping. This is a desert plant. It knows that if it sprouts during a random warm day in January, it will die next week. So it waits for a winter signal. Grow guides confirm this species needs cold, moist conditions, basically a fake winter, for 14 to 45 days before it will wake up. Some native sources say you might even need 45 to 60 days to get a high success rate. You have to trick the seed into thinking it just survived a freeze. Put the seeds in a damp paper towel, seal them in a bag, and throw them in your fridge for 30 days. Then take them out and plant them shallow. They will sprout in 3 to 4 weeks. And when you plant them, give them space. thin them to 6 or 7 inches apart because they have that massive root we talked about. They hate crowding. But here is the ecological mystery that confuses everyone. If this plant is so tasty to us, why do the deer act like it doesn't exist? Deer avoid it, but birds love it. So what does that tell you? A 200-pound deer will eat your roses, your vegetables, and your trees, but it walks right past the green thread. Ecology reports state clearly that this plant is not eaten by deer, which is a miracle for anyone living in deer country. But then you look closer and see a painted bunting bird smashing the seeds like it is the best meal of the year. What is going on here? The plant has a defense system. In the leafy stage, it pumps out bitter tastes that tell a deer, "Don't touch me." But once it makes seeds, it wants to be eaten so birds can fly the seeds to a new location. This matters for your teacup because deer-resistant is code for strong flavor. It means the plant is potent. If a deer won't eat it raw, you probably shouldn't brew it too strong either. Respect the chemistry that scares off a wild animal. Also, those long bloom windows support bees when everything else is dead in August. But before you go buying seeds, you need to know that the name green thread is basically a marketing lie. It has 8 names, so here is how to avoid buying the wrong plant. You type green thread tea into Google and get 8 million results. You buy a bag, brew it, and it tastes completely different from the last batch. Why? Because the Slow Food Arc of Taste lists multiple species under the same nickname. They use Thalesperma filifolium, Thalesperma subnudum, and half a dozen others. They all get thrown into the same bucket. Science tries to track it. Q's Plants of the World online lists the real names, but the market is a mess. You will see it sold as Hopi tea, Navajo tea, Zuni tea, or just Kota. It is the same family, but different plants have different tastes. You need to be a detective to get the good stuff. Check the label for the Latin name, Thalesperma filifolium. If it just says herbal tea blend and lists no species, do not buy it. You have no idea what is in that bag. Ask the seller where it was grown. If they say the Southwest, that is not an answer, that is a marketing term. You want to know if it is picked from the wild or farmed. Wild picked sounds romantic until you remember the roadside lead poisoning. Once you have the right bag, you have one final test to pass. Make it in 10 minutes and get the real result without going too strong. Most people want to feel the effects, so they double the dose and steep it for 20 minutes. You just ruined it. You're going to get a stomachache and 0 benefits. The rule is simple for a reason. 6 cups of water, 1 small bundle, and 5 to 10 minutes of heat. That is it. If you want it stronger, you simmer it for 5 minutes, but you never go over the 10-minute total mark. This matches the traditional use. It is a drink for every day, not a one-time cure. If you change 2 things at once, you are flying blind. Do not change the dose and the steep time on the same day. Do a controlled experiment. Stick to a 5-minute brew for the first 3 days. Then try 7 minutes for the next few days. By the end of the week, you will know which one actually works for you. If you chase intensity, you lose control. And remember the safety gap regarding pregnancy. If you ignore that stat, you are taking a risk that no YouTube video can fix for you. This tea rewards patience. If you need chaos to feel alive, go drink an energy drink. If you want control, drink this. If any fact on this list changed how you look at your teacup, let us know your story in the comments below. And if you are ready to fix your daily routine, just tap the next video on your screen right now. Thanks a lot for watching, and see you in the next one.